Steampunk is a very peculiar genre, whose reasons to exist I've always questioned. For though its style and rules were written by fairly smart people and can be clearly seen in their works, nobody seems to know what to do with it. Even more, instead of somehow developing it further, most hacks either just blindly copy the old works or create new punk genres, ignoring the fact that there is almost no difference between clock punk, steampunk, or electro aka Tesla punk, and all three of them can peacefully coexist within one work. The heart of the genre is not in what makes your automatons tick anyway, it's in retrofuturism. High-tech, low-life. By developing, I mean romanticizing the Victorian era as a whole. Although, of course, not all steampunk works are Victorian, many follow the spirit of the era, especially Victorian England, which always depressed me greatly. It is painfully easy to see that the author has no idea about what he's writing by simply reading that the work is placed in, let's say, USA 1839, while the description of their style and culture is the most British thing you have ever read. Of course, the fact that Great Britain and other countries of the 19th century had drastic differences in style and culture is ignored by everyone, even I realize that. Yet it always makes me sad, just like after watching this anime. SteamBoy is often described as an ode to steampunk, a perfect example of how it's done, and also it's made by the great Katsuhiro Otomo, the creator of Akira. SteamBoy tells a story about Steam family, namely James Roy, his father Edward, and grandfather Lloyd. All three of them, willingly or not, are after a device called SteamSphere, a very steamy MacGuffin that can plunge the world into a second industrial revolution. And how do you think people use it? Right, creating weapons, because of course they do, why wouldn't they? If you place two humans in a closed space without anything, only two outcomes can happen. They either kill each other or have sex. But I digress. These three characters represent three stereotypical points of view on the same problem, while people around them have their own plans on the Steam sphere, and in the end all of this turns into a big skirmish between American and British forces in London. Our hero saves a girl as a result and turns into a hero with a jetpack. So what's the problem, you might ask? How do I explain it? Katsuhiro Otomo is the Japanese equivalent of James Francis Cameron. Both are known for their expensive works full of pathos, graphics, and other crap. But the problem is that in retrospect, most of these works aren't that special or are actually the film industry's equivalent of fast food. SteamBoy is in many ways similar to Avatar. Both were the most expensive works of their time. Both were hyped by journalists and other humans. Both gained high-tier rewards, and both even have average games in their honor. And you know what? Mayhap when they were new, they had their aesthetic value, or at the very least graphical. But in reality, under all that glamour lies a decently made average story at best and a graphomanic shit at worst. What is it is up to you to decide. I watched too many similar works in my day to forgive such things, for there is no sin graver in my book than a shoddily implemented idea. Although eating Rasolnik is much worse.